Hey YouTube, long time no see, but I am back and I have a video for you. It's not a tutorial, but hopefully it'll be helpful for some of you who are maybe looking to change up your park setups. So I'm going to be comparing three types of wide trucks. I also might talk about disco trucks as well. I haven't skated them, but I talked to a lot of people who have. So there's ridge trucks, CIB trucks, and penny trucks. I'm going to talk about the differences in their weight, shape, size, what that means to your skating, the nightmare of compatibility, and everything else. So keep watching. And if you're wondering where on earth I've been very busy. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know I've been working on Joyful. We're making padded shorts that are cute, they're slimline, they're going to be awesome. So if you don't follow me, follow I'll see me rolling. I'll put that down below on Instagram because we are bringing out exciting things. Firstly, why would you want wide trucks? Primarily, wide trucks are wider than standard skateboard trucks, which allows you to grind on the coping. Note, you might have to cut down your kingpin, which is this thing here, and it's what the truck hooks onto in order to allow you to grind so it doesn't stick up beyond the truck. You might not have to, depends on the truck and the cushion size and just a bunch of other factors. Every time I've had to cut down a kingpin, I've used an angle grinder, you can use a hacksaw. Be careful that you don't leave any rough edges that could harm your kingpins. Nuts. They allow you to grind, so they give you more stability. So when I changed to CIB trucks the first time, I realised, oh, I'm less afraid of landing airs and going higher because I've got a wider surface to jump on. Some people find it easier to carve because you've got that bigger area. Think about physics, perpendicular distance from the pivot. If you have a dedicated skatepark setup, I would recommend putting wide trucks on it. I was really afraid when I first got them that I would lock my wheels together because they're wider, dropping in and face plant. It's never happened. There are so many tricks, and especially now, we're doing so many different grinds, stalls, whatever, using wide trucks that I would really recommend them to anyone who thinks that park skating is what they want to do. Now we're going to talk about particular trucks. So when I weighed these, I weighed them all without any spacers or nuts on them just to make sure it was fair. I made sure I used new trucks that hadn't been ground down, so none of the surface was worn away. So thanks Laura for lending me your brand new penny trucks. And the heaviest trucks were the penny trucks. They weighed 153 grams. The ridge trucks 143 and the CIB trucks 133, so there's exactly 10 grams in between each of these. It doesn't sound like a lot, but remember it's multiplied by 4, so it's 40 grams of difference. It's still not a lot, but it's something to think about. The shape of the trucks, so again, ridge and penny, very similar. Flat surface that you're going to be grinding on, whereas CIB have a round surface. And now finally, the size of them. So these CIB trucks were exactly 3 inches, whereas the ridge and penny trucks were both an extra 1/4 inch, so 3.25 inches. So are the differences in size and weight and shape going to impact your skating? Maybe. Weight, though the weight differences are small, you've got to remember it's times by 4. So yeah, it can make jumping harder. You've got extra weight. Already wide trucks are about twice the weight of a standard truck. So that's something to consider. You know, you are increasing the weight of the setup, but obviously you can grind, you've got more balance. So it's a trade-off. I personally recommend wide trucks for all skaters, but if you're really, really worried about weight, then yeah, going for the lighter option is worth it. But I wouldn't make weight the main factor in choosing these. Shape, on the other hand, these, as you can see, they're round. We discussed that already. And these are flat, as are the ridge. I had these for about 2 years before they broke. I much prefer grinding on the pennies. I've only had them for about a month, but grinds feel really nice on them. Instantly, I was able to grind. Yeah, I really like the shape of them. These obviously were designed specifically for coping, so it's odd, but yeah, I prefer them flat or round, but that also could just be personal. When it comes to the width of them, these being a little bit narrower than these. It's a small difference, but also the axle is also wider, and that makes a difference because, you know, put spacers on there perhaps in order for your wheels to lock on properly so that you can wind the nut all the way down to hold it on. So you do have a bit more of a chance of your wheels locking together. Some people prefer an arrow truck because they feel like they're sliding around, but then also you've got a bigger target to hit the coping with, so again, a trade-off. I know the brunny trucks are coming out are going to be 2.5 inches, so interesting to see how people feel about those. Obviously when you're on really fat coping, maybe it's not that easy, we'll see. But 3 inches is definitely enough. It's debatable whether the extra 2.5 inches makes a big difference, but then I have slightly larger feet than most people, so if you have smaller feet, then that actually might be significant to you. Now I'm going to talk about quality, and I first want to say I have seen every single one of these trucks break on someone or other, but the one that breaks the most is without a doubt Ridge trucks. My friend Hadley managed to break 2 of these on his first ever skate on them, but then he skates like, so he's not a representative example. These are definitely cheaply made. Often you'll have one axle that's just bigger than the other, and so your wheel gets stuck on it, and then multiple people have that problem. What's really annoying is the wheel nuts and the axles, just like a slightly different cut, or they're still 8mm, but I think the thread is like coarse or less coarse, and so you can't put standard wheel nuts on them. You have to get a different nut, and then if you bought that from a hardware store, you can see this one is longer. It's actually too long to mean that the nylon engages. You have to put it on upside down, you have to thread it first. It's a whole faff. So that's really annoying. I don't know why that is. Thanks, Ridge. But yeah, I've seen them break. They often break around here where the bushings go. It goes onto kingpin, and the pivot pin breaks. What broke on my CIB trucks was the pivot pin. I'd skated them for like almost 2 years, so I wasn't so stressed about it, whereas, you know, people can break Ridge. They break a lot. The reason I wouldn't want to skate Ridge is because I wouldn't want to be worrying about doing a big drop in, going down a vert ramp, whatever, and having my truck snap on me, or any move having my truck snap on me. It can still happen. Nothing went wrong when this snapped on me. Like, I just noticed my truck, like, I didn't even fall, like I got out the ramp and it spun. So yeah, for me it's worth paying a lot extra for having, you know, even if it would last the same as like 4 pairs of these and the price works out the same. I just don't want to be going through multiple times breaking my trucks. Penny trucks are also quite durable. I can't compare the durability to CIB directly. I have a friend who's broken a couple, but she lands a lot of flips, so, you know, a lot of heavy landings. Fair to break those, to be honest. Again, you know, neither of these are designed to be used in aggressive quad skating, but Penny made pretty decent trucks for something that isn't. Price-wise, you can't buy these anymore, but I think they're about £80. These cost £35 for a set of 2, so they cost £70. And these cost like £15, so £30 for the lot. So there's a huge difference here, and it's quite good. I like that they exist because they mean people can get into having wide trucks at a sort of earlier stage without having to commit so much money to it. If you know you definitely want wide trucks, get Penny trucks or CIB trucks, seriously. Because these aren't going to last. They do have a nice rainbow pattern, but they're a faff. There's a lot of things that are just inconvenient about them. But they're accessible in a way, so it's good. And now on to the nightmare that is compatibility. Nothing in skating is truly compatible and perfectly slots together. It's a nightmare. We'll get there. You know, rollerblading used to be this way, I think, and now things fit together perfectly. So hopefully soon we'll get there. There's always a little bit of bodging, whether it's changing your cushions up, something simple, like maybe you have to cut down your cushions, find thinner cushions. I mean, if anyone knows, there's some good brands of low profile cushions available in the UK, please tell me, because I've been struggling. I was told CIB trucks were the only ones that were compatible with the Reactor Pro plate, but I found Penny trucks and even Ridge trucks fit fine, I know people have had some problems with the ridge trucks popping out, which is why I had to reduce the size of my cushions. But apart from that, it's been okay. They will only fit, all 3 of these trucks will only fit 10-degree angle plates because they, you know, come off 10-degree boards, the kingpin, and the angle of the kingpin is important. Otherwise, things are going to break. You don't want to force it into that shape, or it's just not going to fit in the first place. Brunny Hardcore are bringing out trucks that seem to be more compatible to different sizes. Discotrucks also have some adjustable sizes, but I know a lot of people have problems with them. The axles come loose a lot. They're basically just advised to glue them as a solution. I think it's a really great idea that, you know, you have changeable things so that you can make them fit multiple plates, but it doesn't seem like it's there yet. So yeah, beware with those, because there's also problems with them being too soft. A friend of mine found flakes of aluminium just in her kitchen from her trucks, and they seem to wear down quite quickly. You know, if you're really committed to a different plate, maybe it's for you, but just beware, you're going to need to use a lot of Loctite or super glue to keep everything together. Yeah, 10-degree plates, so you've got Sunlight, you've got Avanti, magnesium, aluminium. I didn't love either of those plates. Reactor Pro, I would say there's no ideal plate. Sunlight is pretty good, but you're going to have to change the pivot cups because they don't quite fit, so you're going to need to use the ones that come with them. These don't come with them as of yet. We don't know well, I mean, I've seen pictures, but I'm not 100% sure how the next generation of CRV trucks are going to be, so it could be the solution to all these problems, but I don't know yet. They seem to have like an extra bit that makes them lower, so you don't have to cut down your kingpin, which is quite good. So just be aware that you will have to fiddle about quite a bit to get any wide trucks into any setup, pretty much. A lot of like moxi, Suregrip, they're basic plates that come with their light setups. They would fit wide trucks because they have 10-degree angles, kingpin angles. So that's a good thing. But there's a lot of plates out there that don't. I have the Reactor Pro. It was a real faff getting them in. I didn't change the pivot cups, but I did when I had the Avanti magnesium, and they've been absolutely fine. Again, it's a bit of a fiddle getting it all together, which is why I haven't taken these off of here, and I'm using a friend's for the weigh-in. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I have to say about wide trucks. Any more questions, feel free to ask me down below. I'll try my best to answer them. I hope it's been helpful, and obviously like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos, skate tutorials. I'm going to be reviewing a few more bits and bobs and hardware and boots and everything, so stay tuned.